In my opinion, there would be no reason whatsoever under any circumstances to harm a human being in terms of killing them, mutilating them, or whatever it is. I cannot even begin to imagine a scenario where that would be something that they would do. But then again, humans tend to mutilate other humans all the time. So we have to be very, very careful with those kinds of odd cases. And linking them to the abduction phenomenon is it's a long shot at best. It's far-fetched. It really is way off on the fringe of this way off fringe area itself. So I don't see the evidence for it personally.
And what is your view on the animals that are found mutilated and dead?
Well, animals are a little different. People have described UFOs hovering over mutilated animals. I don't know whether cows, for example, or horses are related to the abduction phenomenon. If they are, if an occasional mutilation here and there, and the small number of mutilations, even if it's in the thousands, it's still a very small number, bothers me. It bothers me. And if this is not animals, and there are other, which is the main reason why there's a debate, because animals, cows die, animals eat away at their soft organs, and they eat their lips and their tongues and their uter, their udders and everything, soft organs that are protruding. If it's not that, and if it is related to the aliens, it's a sideshow. It is not the main thing. It's something else. Maybe it is for food to feed hybrids. We don't know. We don't know. But it is a side road, way off to the side, and it might be just simply a matter of. I don't think it's a matter of interest. I don't think they're interested that much, to tell you the truth. I don't think it's part of the program. But maybe it's for food or something like that. But I think that animal mutilations are interesting. They're suggestive. But I keep my eyes on the prize. And the prize is human abductions.
But some of them have got the udders, the reproductive organs have gone missing, udders.
Yes, those are soft organs that animals eat first, because what's the sense of gnawing away at somebody's rib cage when all these other organs from a deceased animal are available to eat? So that's what happens first, which doesn't surprise me. But there are people who know more about animal mutilations than I do. All I know is that every once in a while an abductee, this is rare, but it has described animals being on board. Maybe something is done to the animal and then it's dropped off after that. I just don't know. We don't have evidence directly linking mutilations with aliens. But it might be true. That might be the case. I just don't know. It's not been presented to me yet.
Okay, great. Next question. What do you deem the purpose in the hybridization, mixing and filtration into society by these beings?
Well, that's the ultimate question. We don't know the ultimate answer. But these beings have talked about to abductees, and I've heard this from a number of abductees, that soon there's going to be a change, and soon everybody is going to be together. Human-looking hybrids and humans. And soon everybody will know his place, to use a phrase that they've used, and everything will be different, and everything will be wonderful, and everything will be great, and you're going to love it, and we're going to love it, and everybody's going to love it, and we're going to be with you. And there have been images that people have shown of groups of people where they try to, and the abductee on board an object is told to figure out who are they and who are, what was the difference between us, as the aliens say, between us, you, the humans, and the abductees can't tell the difference whatsoever. Everybody looks the same, and see, they're pleased at that. They say, that's wonderful. Everybody will soon be together. Here's the problem. It's not just that they're creating humans. There's plenty of humans on Earth to go around. In fact, our population is growing at fantastic rates. And pretty soon the world will be overcrowded and overpopulated. Somewhere down the line, there's going to be a population crisis of monumental proportions if everything stays steady state as it is now. That's not the problem. That's a dealable, manageable, handleable problem. The problem is neurological engagement by these beings. They can control people from a distance, and we cannot control them. Without that ability to control, there would be no abduction phenomenon. How long that distance is, we're not sure. Maybe it's 6 trillion miles? Maybe it's 50 feet. We don't really know, or 50 meters. We don't know at what distance you stop being able to control people. But it can be done, and without it, once again, people would run from them, they would call the police, they would do this, they would do that, but before the abduction event starts, they're already under neurological control. They can't move, they can't get up off of their chair, they have to pull over to the side of the road, if they're driving. There's certain things that happen out of their control. As hybridization continues down to looking more and more human, the ability to do that becomes weaker and weaker and weaker. The ones who look quite human are the weakest of all, but they can still do it. That's the problem. They can still control humans, and we cannot control them. That makes us a second-class species. Not second-class citizens, but a second-class species who are at the beck and call of these beings. This is not something that I look forward to. This is, in my opinion, disastrous, catastrophic. I can't think of other words to describe it. There's never been anything like this in human history. If they are doing this for integration, and that's what they say they are doing it for, to put it bluntly, it's a disastrous situation. Now, why are they doing this? That we do not know. Now, if this were psychological, if people were making this up, they would tell us why. If they're making it up, they'd make that up too. Well, they want our resources. Well, they want our fill in the blank. They have a collection of planets, like people have collections of marbles. Who knows what reasons that they're doing it for? They don't say why. That is the one thing. That is the jackpot question. We do not know why this is happening.
Okay, great. Dr. Jacobs, do you believe there is a possibility of there being hybrids walking among us today? And if so, why?
That used to be my favorite question of all questions ever asked me. And it was my favorite question because I got to say absolutely not. There's no evidence whatsoever that is the case. And that made me seem like I was a sane individual. or as sane as a person can be who studies this subject. And it was a line over which I was glad I didn't have to cross, because I could say, no, that's not true, this is ridiculous, etc., etc. Since the publication of my book, The Thread, in 1998, I have learned quite a bit more about this subject. And starting in 2003, I began to hear things that I hadn't heard before, and then other people began to say the same thing, and more people began to say the same thing, and a lot of it related to hybrids moving in or living here in some way or another. Much to my embarrassment, much to my discomfiture, I really dislike hearing it, because when people ask me that now, I can't say absolutely not. I have to say, well, maybe it's possible, yes. And I've been forced into that position by the weight of the evidence. You have to be prepared to do things like that. After all, we are dealing with this extraordinary subject, the fringe of the fringe. Everything about it is crazy. People think that I am weak-minded because I study this, and now people are telling me, people who have PhDs and other advanced degrees, who know that saying things like that is disastrous for them personally and for their careers, who have never said that to me before, and I've worked with people for sometimes for a couple of decades, and who now, starting around 2003, began to tell me those things, about 10 years ago, began to tell me those things, even though they had never told them to me before, and they weren't aware that other people were saying the same thing. This was called the change, as these aliens called it, the change. Soon there'll be a change. Change is coming. Everything will be different. It's going to be wonderful. The change, you know. First, I wondered, what was the change? What did they mean by the word soon? Because soon in their world might mean 1,000,000 years from now. Who knows? And then who cares? But soon might mean 10 minutes from now as well. So I could never quite figure it out. The point is that in 2003 and 2004 and 2005, when I began to hear these things, I realized the change has happened. We're in the change now. And that's why hybrids are now here, essentially, just as the aliens said they would be.